ready for some football. I don't know about you. Who else could it be but your man Lou? Yeah.
Who else could it be but me, your man, Louie T? Welcome to Sunday Night Football Overtime. Chargers, Steelers. What a game. These are the types of games that when the season's over and you're doing nothing on a Sunday night, these are the reasons you miss football right here. Not the game we got on Thursday between the Patriots and the Falcons. Those are the games that make you wish the season was over so you didn't have to devote 3 hours of your day watching something that never really felt competitive from the beginning. These are the types of games that you say, man, I can't believe we're already in week 11 and it's almost over. What a game. And to think the Steelers were down all of their defensive stars, no Joe Hayden, no Minka Fitzpatrick, no TJ Watt, and they looked like they were going to get run out of the building. A building that, by the way, felt like Heinz Field. And I know Chargers fans get tired of hearing this, so I won't belabor this point. But this is getting frustrating because it's one thing when you're trotting out 87-year-old Phillip Rivers, or it's one thing if you're trotting out, Chase Daniel at quarterback, and you don't have a franchise guy, your team's not any good. I get it. There's no reason to show up. But I've already said this. It's LA. There's a lot of things. There's a million things to do. And on the pantheon of LA teams, the Chargers are at the very bottom. I get it. But you've got a star quarterback in Justin Herbert who's young, who's fun, who's entertaining. This is a fun team. You're winning games. You're 6-4 now. There's no excuse for Chargers fans to not show up. And I get it. You were in San Diego for eons. And I don't know how big of a fan base existed in LA before you got there. And I don't know how long the drive is to come down or from San Diego. I don't know what part of the state it's in and how far of a drive. I would imagine it's a pretty long drive. At the end of the day, it's the Steelers too. Let me point that this wasn't the Jacksonville Jaguars that came in and took over your stadium. It's the Steelers. The Steelers come in and take over almost everybody's stadium. Them and the Packers and the Cowboys fans are pretty damn good at infiltrating your stadium and taking the sumbitch over. That said, this is a problem for the Chargers. But I don't want to belabor that point. But I'm getting frustrated because your team is good, your quarterback is excellent, you should be there supporting them. That said, a wise man once told me it's not how they come, it's how they leave. And all those Steelers fans with those damn terrible towels, you take your ass and you hit the exits with an L. Or should I go that way? So the Chargers, they did it again. They did it to the Browns. Now they do it to the Steelers, another AFC North opponent where they beat them late in the ball game with a big play to Mike Williams. So this game felt like it was slipping away from the Steelers, man. At 27-10, I was ready to throw in the towel. At 34-17, I was done. This I think it was 34. Was it ever 34-17? They were down 17. I think the 27-10 was the score. I don't know if it ever got to 34-17. I just know that they blew this lead. I think it was 31-17. They blew this lead. It seemed like in a matter of that. Like the block punt by Miles Killebrew. The Steelers, I thought they botched the 4-down sequence thereafter. They didn't run Najee Harris not a single time, which is asinine to me. They got a mulligan, though, because on 4th down, the corner filling in for Asante Samuel Jr. Had a pass interference, and it was a blatant, obvious pass interference that gave them a fresh set of downs. And as Chris Collinsworth said, I bet you $1,000 are going to run it this time. And they did, and of course, Najee Harris got in, which is what they should have done the first time. But It's nor here nor there. The bottom line is that happened. Then you get the batted ball into the air, and really Cam Hayward. Someone on the show last week, I want to say it was Silver Villains, super chatted and said, look, I know everybody talks about Aaron Donald, everybody talks about Chris Jones. Give me Cam Hayward. He's the best defensive tackle in the league, right now, or he's having one of the better seasons. And I said, hey, that's cool. And I appreciate Cam Hayward, and I know how good of a football player he is. The Steelers gave him a contract extension like a year or two ago, and he was like 80 years old already. That tells you how good he is. He's like Calais Campbell, just one of those dudes that just continues to make plays even though they're up there in age. They just continue to make things happen. He's still not better than Chris Jones. Did you see Chris Jones today, by the way? 3.5 sacks, a batted ball that turned into an interception similar to what Cam Hayward just did in this game. Like, I don't want to. I know Cam Hayward is a beast, and he is. Give me Chris Jones or Aaron Donald any day of the week. But anyway, Cam Hayward was exceptional. Running down Justin Herbert on that one play, that kept them out of the end zone for, I think it was 2 plays later that Eckler got in the end zone, and he was a problem tonight, and he's a problem every week. And to think I wasn't the biggest Austin Eckler fan, 3-4 years ago. I used to mock the Chargers for putting him on the field consistently over and over again. Like, go get yourself a real running back, man. This guy is a beast. Anyway, he had like 3 or 4 touchdowns tonight. I think he had 3 touchdowns. Eckler might have had a 4th. He was ridiculous tonight. They had no answer for him. Catching it, running it, it didn't matter. And just like that, it gets picked off by Cam Sutton. And just like that, they're in business with a chance to tie this game up. And that they do. And I'm just like in awe for a second. Like, really? You really allowed these guys to not only come back into this game, but they're going to tie it up? And then that interception, I think, gave them a chance to kick the field goal. I think that was the play that gave them a chance to kick the field goal. No, that was the wide receiver screen to Pat Freiermuth. So that tied it up. And then they got the stop. And I'm looking at this thing and I'm saying, wow, they're going to really take the lead here. They needed a touchdown is what they needed, but they got a field goal. And because they went for it on 4th down, that's what happened. And I want to stop there. That's where I kind of want to go next is, okay, I didn't have a problem with going for it on 4th down. I really didn't, because you played the law of averages at that point of the game. I actually thought it was a smart deal going for it if you're head coach Brandon Staley. Why? Because if you punt that there and the Steelers put together an 11-play, 4-minute drive that eats up the remainder of the clock and kicks a walk-off Chris Boswell field goal, you don't see the football again and you lose this game. They're not in a position to do that where they were. They could put together a little drive and they may force the Chargers to use all of their timeouts and use the little 2-minute warning. And, depends on how it happens. If they go 3 plays and get the first down, go another 3 plays and get the first down, then they could have kicked a walk-off field goal if they kept doing that. But with the field being shortened the way that it was, you want to put yourself in a position that if they score, you get it back and you have a chance. And that's why going for it on 4th down, I thought was the right move, because if you don't get it, you're going to get the football back. Whether it's with a lot of time, like they ultimately did get it back with, or a little bit of time. Either way, you're going to get the football back with a chance. But why the hell are you not quarterback sneaking with your 6'6" quarterback? That shit boggles the mind. I watched Tom Brady. A quarterback sneak is coming anytime you play against a Tom Brady-led team. And I still haven't seen anybody stop the damn Tom Brady quarterback sneak. And I get it. Not every quarterback is great at quarterback sneaking. And the taller you are, the harder it is for you to get down low and get the first down. But I don't give a shit. I got a 6'6" quarterback. Do you really think I'm going to turn and hand it off 3 yards behind the line of scrimmage when all I need is 8 inches? Do you really think that that's a smart idea? If you think that's a good idea, you need to wash your damn face and get your mind right. You deserve to get stopped by Joe Schobert and the rest of that Steelers defense. And at that point, I was like, you need to lose the game because that was a dumbass play call. Luckily enough for them, the defense came onto the field, got a stop, forced the field goal, and got the football back to the Chargers with plenty of time to go down and orchestrate either a game-time field goal or the touchdown. And I don't know what the hell the Steelers were doing there. I don't like a slot blitz in that situation. It's coming from way too far. He can see it coming a mile away. I don't like a slot blitz there, but even if you're going to do it, somebody please cover the receiver on the outside. You know, Cam Sutton's over there trying to be nosy and be special and pick something off. The safety, Jordan Norwood, is coming over way too late. What are we doing here, guys? Seriously, we're gonna give up a 60-yard touchdown that easily? That's what we're gonna do? In that critical of a situation, I saw more boneheaded blunders in the most critical situations in football games today, than I can remember. The Bears, first of all, the Ravens give up a touchdown, a deep ball touchdown to Andy Dalton on a 4th and 6, and there's nobody within 10 yards in any direction of Marquise Goodwin. What are we doing? Okay, I think the defender fell down on that play. I don't care. That can't happen. How many times are the Ravens going to get beat on the same damn coverage at the end of games? One thing I can say about Wink Martindale, at least he's consistent. He says, I'm going to live by the blitz, I'm going to die by the blitz. Well, you died against the Raiders in week 1. You damn near died. You were on your deathbed today trying to go after Andy Dalton, and he almost made you pay. Luckily enough, the Bears are worse than you are, and they not only did what you did, they did it worse than you did, because all they had to do, Tyler Huntley was incapable of beating you unless you gave him a wide open receiver to hit, and they did that at the end of the game on like 3rd and 11. Wide ass open Sammy Watkins down inside the 5-yard line that sets up the run by Devontae Freeman to give the Ravens the go-ahead score. Like, what are you guys doing? This is a crucial moment of the game. How is somebody that wide open? I don't understand. And it happened in this game. I don't understand how you can lose focus at a time like that. Do your job. Cam Sutton, do your job. Jordan Norwood, do your job. Unbelievable. Great job by Herbert of identifying the mistake and getting it to him quickly so that he could catch it, run after the catch, and get into the end zone. And then at that point, it's turning the dogs loose. They know that Ben and company need a touchdown. Then they just turn the dogs loose. Kyler Fackrell with a sack, then Joey Bosa with the sack. And at that point, you're at 3rd and 24. You get a delay of game. So it was probably like 3rd and 26. You lose another 2.5 yards from where they were. And now it's 3rd and 29. Good luck. You're going to need it. Game, set, match. But what a comeback by the Steelers. What resiliency they showed in making this interesting. The Chargers are one of those teams where they're still not ready yet. You can see that, it's bacon in the oven, man. They got all the ingredients. They did a good job of cooking this thing up. But it's in the oven. It's still bacon, and they're not ready yet. It's not ready to be served. And for playoff consumption yet. They're a quality football team. They're still a year away. And the thing I can say is in past years, they would have lost this game. Past years, they would have lost the Cleveland game. But they're still and they would have lost the Eagles game. Like these are games they would have lost in the past. The Chiefs game early this season, they probably would have lost that game. They would have found ways to lose those games. They're winning those games. But for every one of those games, it's a game that's inexcusable that they lose to somebody that makes you shake your head and you say, what the hell was that? And there's still too many of those games, like the Vikings last week at home. There's still too many of those types of performances that make you shake your head and say, you're not quite ready for the show yet. And I say that, and they're only a half game or so back of the Chiefs. It's not like they're, way back there. The Chiefs haven't had their bye week yet. I think the Chiefs are 7-4, and this Chargers team is 6-4. Like they're right there, right? But I feel like they're so close, but yet they're still so far away. Because this game had no business being close. None. Never should have come down to Justin Herbert having to pull a magic trick out of his hat. Never should have come down to this. You were dominating them. This should have been an easy runaway victory. Should have never come to you having to battle back and wrestle the lead back away from the Steelers and then sicking the dogs on Ben Roethlisberger on the final drive to preserve it. And yet it did. For the Steelers, I think they're going to make the playoffs. I think this is a playoff team. I still don't like some of their characteristics. I don't like some of their play calling. Again, you get down there first and goal from this 4 or 5 yard line and you want to throw it, 3 times and you want to try a little jet sweep. That was so last year with Chase Claypool, that little jet sweep, give it to him quick, hand off. That was so last year when he was a rookie, when he ran that in like 8 times. That shit's old news. Everybody knows you want to do that. You got Najee Harris now. This is why he spent the first round pick. Just give him the ball against the worst rush defense in football. Why is this rocket science? And I thought that their interior played well tonight, the Chargers did. Like, they seemed to come out with a spirited attack of, look, we know we're the worst run defense. They know we're the worst run defense. They're going to try to pound it down our throats. We need to step up. And I thought some of their big guys on the interior stepped up tonight. I don't give a shit about any of that, though. I trust my guys with the game on the line. Turn around and give it to 22. You got bailed out by, the cornerback that had the pass interference on 4th down that really didn't need to do that. That was a force by Ben. Didn't need to do that. All he had to do was come and knock it away. He was there plenty of time. I think that this Steelers team is good enough to make the postseason. It's going to be interesting because their defense, to me, and if they get their guys back healthy, their defense is top notch. And that's going to keep them in games. And if we could get a semblance of what we got on offense from them tonight, and I don't know if this was more of Chargers than it was them. I don't know. Ben looked good tonight. For a guy that hadn't practiced, I thought Ben looked sharp, looked fresh, looked spry. But I don't trust them to do this on a week in, week out basis. This isn't who they've been. This feels like more of an anomaly and more of a Chargers thing than it is, the Steelers, they're getting their act together on offense and they're going to be able to score points now. I still view them as the team that, and I get it, Ben didn't play last week, but only scored 16 last week in a tie against the Lions. Or the week before that, barely mustered. How many points did they score in that game against Chicago? I think an actual game broke out in the 4th quarter of that game, now that I think about it. But let's check and see. I think they actually scored 29. That's not bad. 29 points isn't bad. But 15 the week before that, 23 in overtime against the Seahawks before that, 27, 17, 10, 17, 6, and 23. Like, we know this isn't a team that scores a ton of points. And you look at their schedule, it's a murderer's row schedule, but every time we count the Steelers out, they find ways to win games we don't think they're going to win. They're at Cincinnati next week. They're capable of going to Cincinnati. And this is one of the teams that they've had a ton of success going to their building and winning, is beating Cincinnati. They got the Ravens the week after that for the first time for 2 meetings. Same thing. After that, they got the Vikings. Like, their schedule is very interesting. The Titans, the Chiefs, the Browns, and then the Ravens. Like, it's a brutal schedule, but if anybody can navigate it, it's this Steelers defense. Can they get enough points from their offense, to me, is the question. But in any event, big win for the Chargers. Justin Herbert is a stud. I felt like, because I think a lot of times people don't realize how good of an athlete he is because we fall in love with his arm. It's mesmerizing. When you see him rifle that thing and rear back and throw it, I mean, it is just a beautiful thing to watch. And I think some people lose sight of the fact this is a big athlete, man. This guy can run. And I thought tonight that was on full display. And I think his legs were ultimately the undoing of this Steelers defense tonight. They had zero answer for him taking off when things broke down or he didn't like what he saw. They had no answer for him when they were in man-to-man coverage. He took off and ran and had some humongous gains. And I thought it was just a little bit of a reminder to those out there that forget that this guy's a tremendous athlete. I'm a tremendous athlete. His legs were the difference maker. They were the X factor tonight. He was outstanding. Man, is he good. I mean, he truly, really is. Even after they didn't get the fourth down, they put a pan shot of him on the sidelines, and he has the Eli Manning face. Like, okay, we didn't get it. But if we get it back, I'm going to do these boys. You know? There's something to Justin Herbert, man. I really like him. Anyway, I digress. It's crazy because I didn't like him coming out of college, but I wasn't alone in that. But I'm not dragging anybody into this with me. I didn't think he was going to be this good. I thought he had the same temperament of a Marcus Mariota. I couldn't have been more wrong, you know. Didn't think he was a leader of men. Again, couldn't have been more wrong. And his action on the field and his play on the field speaks volumes, you know, louder than I could have ever imagined. This kid is legit, as legit as it gets. Let's see if we got any super chats. And we have one. From Mysterio McManos. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Mysterio McManos writes, my Ravens are number one in the division as of today. I can honestly say this team will miss the playoffs this year. Your Ravens will? You know what's interesting about that is if you ask me who has the most fraudulent record of any team in the league this season, I'd tell you it's the Baltimore Ravens. They're 7-3 right now, if I'm not mistaken, the Ravens are. Of those 7 wins, we could easily say they should have lost 5 of them. We've done this exercise before, so I don't really need to go down that road again. But, you know, just quickly off the top of my head, Colts game in overtime, should have lost that game. Lions game, 8-yard field goal, whatever the hell he kicked, should have lost that game. This game today had no business winning this game at all whatsoever. The Chiefs game, if, you know, Clyde Edwards-Helaire doesn't fumble, you're probably going to lose that game. You were down 10 in that game, and Mahomes throws a ridiculous, stupid interception that really changed that entire game. You should have lost that game. And I'm pretty sure I'm missing one more game in there where you probably should have lost, but you didn't. This team is, again, the cardiac Ravens this season. They just find ways to win, but that's the mark of a good team. And I've said this before, and I'll say it again. We can sit here and talk about, you know, fraudulent this, and every week I get Atlas up here calling some other team fraudulent, right? The bottom line is the good teams in this league find a way to win. You can call it whatever you want. You can say it's this, it's that. They're 7-3. They could be 3-7, but they're not. You know why? Because they're a good team, and good teams find a way to win. So you say you're not going to make the playoffs, and you might be right. Your division is brutal. You've gotten spanked at home by the Bengals already. This Steelers team is for real defensively and good enough to really silence your offense and do what the Dolphins did to you. I could see the Steelers doing something similar to you in that regard. You got all these injuries. I could see the Ravens losing, 3 out of 4 and allowing teams in that division to bypass them. But they're the Ravens. I just don't see that happening. It could, because you've dodged so many bullets. Eventually, when teams let off clips, let off shots and empty clips, and you just keep ducking and dodging, eventually you're going to get hit. You can't keep ducking and dodging bullets, like you're the Flash, and you just got this incredible speed to just, faster than a speeding bullet, and you can make anything, all these bullets miss. Eventually, you're going to get hit. Bow, bow, bow. And once you get hit by one bullet, it's going to slow you down, and another bullet's going to connect, and then another bullet's going to connect, and now you're gasping for air. Your season is on its deathbed. I could see that happening. But the only thing that convinces me the contrary is you're the Ravens. And John Harbaugh doesn't lose 3 games in a row or 4 out of 5. He didn't do that. Lamar Jackson, if he's healthy, he's not going to allow that to happen. You're going to find a way to win. So we'll see. Your division is rough, and you got a ton of division games left. We'll see what happens, but I think you're going to ultimately find a way in because you're the Ravens. See. DeAndre Jackson, thank you for the comment. Says, what the hell is wrong with my Raiders? There's a lot wrong with your Raiders. I mean, you're gonna get your ass beat on Thanksgiving too. So it's only going to get worse from here. But there's a lot of things fundamentally wrong with your Raiders, and it's just a lot going on with that team, right? Like, you're not good enough to have the amount of distractions off the field that you've had this season. First of all, I don't give a shit how good of an organization you are. If your head coach is forced to quit during the season, and then you have one of your better receivers, young receivers that is, involved in what Henry Ruggs III was involved in, it's hard to overcome all of those obstacles that are being placed in your way. But that said, this team, as I mentioned, was set up and built brick by brick by John Gruden. It's his team. He handpicked these players to fit his scheme. Rich Bisaccia, and I don't care whatever other coordinators you have, they're not John Gruden. Okay? There's only so much you can do with the pieces that are here that fit what John Gruden wants to do. And I get it. A lot of those guys have been in those meetings with Gruden. They know what Gruden was doing, and they're trying to continue to do those things. But they're not John Gruden. So it's going to be tough because your defense actually hasn't been terrible this season, but it's a defense that isn't good enough to win you games by itself. The offense has to come to the show. And the defense hung in as long as it could today, but you scoring 13 points or whatever you scored today, that shit's not enough. Defense was fighting its ass off for 3.5 quarters, and the wheels finally came off in that fourth quarter. It's only so much this defense can do if the offense isn't going to help it out. It's a lot fundamentally wrong with that team right now. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, hey, to divert away from the subject at hand, but man, was TH alpha today? Like alpha, especially after he took that hit, got me standing up. No, he's been an alpha all year. You know, there have been some times where he's been frustrated with the way things have been going, but he's always been an alpha. But I do think there were times today where he went alpha, like that 4th and 3 that he completed to John Bates. Like, that's a next level play, right? Only a handful of guys in the league are making that play at that moment of the game. Again, 4th down, tie ball game, got to have it. He went and got it for us. It's huge. So, absolutely, he was alpha today. I agree, but I think he's been alpha all year. Just because you're an alpha doesn't mean you don't make mistakes. He's super competitive, always has been. I didn't always love his body language, and I talked about that before, in the past, but he wears his emotions on his sleeve. Whether it's good or bad, he wears his emotions on his sleeve, and I love it. Reed says, just in case I don't see you, I hope you and yours have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Likewise, Reed. Always, we'll probably run into each other tomorrow. I don't know if you work or if you'll be on the stream tomorrow or not, but obviously Bucks play tomorrow night and you're going to win. So you'll be in a much more jovial mood. And I expect to see you after the game tomorrow night. But in the event that I don't, likewise to you, make sure you take care of the 5 F's, family, faith, food, friends, football. Make sure you take care of all of them in whatever order you desire. But enjoy the festivities. But as I always tell you, these aren't promised to us. Enjoy everything. Enjoy the family. Enjoy the friends. Enjoy the football. Enjoy your your loved ones, because you don't know if grandma's going to be here next year. You don't know if mom or dad is going to be here next year. You don't know if you're going to be here next year. Enjoy it. Savor it. Don't take these for granted. It's my favorite holiday of the year. So for me, to you and yours, happy Thanksgiving. Reese says, Thanksgiving must be different for you since going vegan. What does a vegan do on Thanksgiving? Oh my God, it's not different at all. I'm gonna make sure that I show you guys all the things that I cook. I eat well on Thanksgiving. Okay, do not feel bad for me. I eat hearty. I eat better than most of you do on Thanksgiving. Okay, I've got a spread made for a king, and most of it I cook. But you'll see. I'll take pictures of everything, the damage that I do in the kitchen, and all the things that I have at my disposal. So don't you worry. I eat good. Okay. Got another one here from Fat American. Double up. Thank you for doubling up, Fat American. My guy, Fat American, writes, yeah, after the sack, he came back with that 4th down conversion, and then the scramble, he got hit late, popped right up. Like, okay, Heineke. Yeah, that one got me hyped too. Like, I didn't get up from it, but, I got up when he got sacked and rolled and bent up like a pretzel. I was scared. That one got me out of my seat because I wanted 15. I don't know what the hell I wanted 15 for. I wanted 15. It looked brutal. It looked vicious. I just wanted 15, and then they wouldn't let him go. He had his arm around his neck for like 10 seconds, like he was trying to choke our guy out. I was just begging, like, sit your ass down. You don't need 15 for that. But I was begging. So, yeah, it was a lot, man. A lot of things that I enjoyed, definitely. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Big Money Sonny, writes, Lou just finished the highlights. Been in Mexico this weekend. Phenomenal win. I saw your comment. You said you would be in Mexico, so I knew you would miss. I didn't know if you would miss the game. I knew you weren't going to be in the MOBB because you were enjoying yourself. And that's good. I need a getaway too. I would love to get my buddy just went to Jamaica. I'm like, damn, I could use one of those. But I hope you enjoyed yourself in Mexico. And yeah, we got the dub, man. It was a fun game. I enjoyed it thoroughly. It was one of those games that, was really gratifying, because there were so many things that happened, in the past, and then during the week, and then in the game that you were like, no, I want this one bad. So it was a very, very gratifying win. Got another super chat here. This one is from Gearcell. Thank you for the super chat, Gearcell. Greatly appreciate you. They were looking for you, Gearcell one. I want to say it was my guy Mike Lowry at the end of the Washington stream was waiting for that classic Gearcell send-off, and he's like, damn, no Gearcell today. So you're becoming a fixture at the end of these streams, and they were looking for you, man. He says, second week in a row, putting on the plaid Daisy Dukes with the high top Timberlands. the 6-inchers? No, not you. Not with plaid Daisy Dukes on, man. Not you. He said, Ron's plan, almost believable again. Not you. Not you. You are OG, man. Not you going out like that, man. Oh, man, that's brutal. Yourself. Big Money Sonny, man. Thank you for the generosity, man. Really do appreciate you, Big Money Sonny. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. My guy, Big Money Sonny, who writes, let's get it, Lou. We in this. We in it to win it, bro. Like, I told you I was gonna get crazy with the P-word scenarios, and I went and looked tonight. I like our chances a lot. And I'm being greedy now. I don't just like our chances for the 7 seed. We could get our hands on the 6 seed, man, if we play this thing right. Because everybody that's fighting, like, for instance, the Vikings right now are the 6 seed, I believe. And I think the 49ers are the 7 seed, I think. Or I think the Vikings are the 6 seed and the Saints are the 7 seed, whatever the case may be. But the 49ers are 5-5, just like the Saints and the Vikings are, right? Well, the Vikings and the 49ers play each other this week. Somebody's got to lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is perfect. And we're going to get a bunch of these scenarios down the stretch. Like, a lot of these teams are going to lose games. Like, the Saints are about to fall off of a damn cliff. And if they don't, they'll have to beat teams like Dallas on the way to not falling off the cliff. So either way, it's going to be beneficial to us. But if they don't beat Dallas, fine. If we don't catch Dallas, fine. But get the Saints the hell out of the way then. The Vikings have some tough games. They got to see that same Green Bay Packer team again. They got the 49ers coming up. They got some other games. I'm like, they're going to lose games. They're the Vikings. I'm not really worried about them. So I'm just looking at all the teams. There are about 5 teams ahead of us. But we're all separated by like a game and a half max, right? We're 4-6. The 2 teams occupying the 6 and 7 seed are 5-5. We're literally a game behind them. We win, they lose, and we're all 5-6. So the Eagles are ahead of us. We play the Eagles twice. Guess what? Yeah, they got the Jets in a couple of weeks. They also have to play the Giants. They also have to play the Cowboys, and they play us twice. Like, we can take care of our own business. It's beautiful. Yeah, we're in this thing. You're damn right we are. Silvaro, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. And I want to say once again, Big Money Sonny, thank you for your generosity, man. Really do appreciate you. He says, thanks for D-Hop. You are so welcome. I felt like he would be an upgrade for you. And he's going to miss some kicks. He tried to miss one tonight when they were offsides. He's going to miss some kicks. But he's better than anything you've had over the last 8 years. So you're welcome. And I think he's going to be really good for you. I really do. He says, I know you Washington football team fans think he stinks, but for us Bolts fans, he is an early Christmas present. LOL. It's not that we think he stinks. It's that we think he's inconsistent. That's the problem. He will miss at the most inopportune times. And that's the problem. However, like I said, he is an upgrade. A clear upgrade over anything you've had. And I don't think he stinks, just for the record. A lot of Washington fans, as you said, do think he stinks. I don't think he stinks. I just think he is prone to missing kicks that he's capable of making. And there are too many of these, it's not always in field goal form. It's extra points. And, when you play the kind of football that you play, missed extra points are backbreakers, right? Like, that's what killed us. We would be in a game, he'd miss an extra point. Now we have to go for 2. We're one of the worst 2-point conversion teams in the league. So we'd go for 2. We wouldn't get that, and we'd end up losing the game by 3 or 4 or 5. And the only reason we lost in that situation is because we had to go chasing points. And then we got in the field goal range again. But instead of us being down by 2 or 3, where a field goal would have tied it or won us the game, we had to go for a touchdown because he missed an extra point. Then we compounded that by going for 2, and we left 3 points on the scoreboard. That's the kind of shit he did to us. And he may do it to you, but again, he's going to be the most consistent thing you've had in Los Angeles in eons. And for that, again, one man's trash is another man's treasure. And for you guys, he's going to be, like you said, an early Christmas gift. And I'm rooting for D-Hop for you guys. I'm rooting for him. Because he's a good kicker. But he's going to miss some kicks. Trust me. Anyway. Thank you for the super chat, Silvaro. Big Money Sonny. Oh, you Big Money Sonny tonight, for real, huh? That's how you feeling? I really do appreciate you, Big Money Sonny, man. Thank you so much for the super chat and your generosity tonight. You're my guy. You know that. And I really do appreciate you. You must be feeling real good off of this Mexico trip. And the boys got you feeling good. They got you in a good mood. I appreciate you, my guy, Big Money Sonny, with the dubs, with the hundo, with the Benny F. Writes again. Let's get it, Lou. We in this, y'all. You're damn right we in it. And like I said, I went fishing tonight, watching this Sunday night game. I said, man, why not us? And I told you I was gonna start talking reckless If we beat the Panthers, and that was 2 in a row, and we did it in a way that I felt good, like if we reverted back to old ways where the defense was letting, teams, letting the Panthers convert on third downs and the offense had to bail us out in a 34-30 shootout, then I wouldn't have been as confident. But the defense looked like it did the week prior and the week before that and the week before that when it played against Green Bay, Denver, Tampa Bay, and now the Panthers. And I feel like the defense has gotten to where we thought they would be when the season started. The offense is finding its stride, and we still may be getting help on the way. That is exciting. So you're damn right we're in this thing. And when I look at all the teams ahead of us, and again, we're only separated by a game. This thing is wide open. And I told you, I'm greedy now. I don't just want the 7th seed. I want the 6th seed, right? I want the 6th seed. Because I think, personally, I don't know who the 3 seed is going to ultimately be. It might be Dallas. I want whomever's the 3 seed, that's who I want. It could be Dallas. It could be Arizona. It could be the Rams. It could be Tampa. We don't know who it's going to ultimately be. But whomever that 3 seed is, I know I'm not afraid of them. I just know I don't want to face the 1 or the 2 seed. And I know that for a fact. So why not get the 3 seed and give yourself, the 6th seed and give yourself a chance against the 3 seed? It's not out of the realm of possibility, guys. It's right there in front of us. All we got to do is continue to play the brand of football that has gotten us this 2-game win streak. And the schedule, as I've mentioned before, it's very doable. But again, did you see the Seahawks? They're imploding right before our very eyes. We just got to take care of business. They're still a dangerous team because they're wounded. Their back is up against the wall, and they're going to give us everything they got on Monday night. But they are free falling. Free falling. We just got to take care of business. That's it. Thank you once again for the super chat. Big money, Sonny. Living up to your name. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Fat American writes. Oh, and Big Money Sonny, I think I said this already, but in case I didn't, thank you for being a member of the squad. He says that, hey, that sack got me heated too. A little dirty in my opinion. I didn't think it was dirty, Fat American. I didn't think it was dirty. He said, by the Panthers, but it is what it is. We are starting to fall in love with TH, man. Most alpha QB for us I've ever seen. Whew. How old are you, Fat American? We've had some alphas in the past. He says, love his drive. However, I will say that I think what is making people fall in love with him is the fact that, one, he's an easy guy to root for. His story has been well documented. He's an easy guy to root for. 2, he wears his emotions on his sleeve. And 3, he's clutch. He's the anti-Kirk Cousins. And I think that's why people are gravitating towards him, because what Kirk couldn't do, he's doing. In crucial moments, he's coming up huge. Kirk couldn't do that. Kirk couldn't win us games down the stretch. He couldn't make the big throw. He couldn't lead the big drive. That was the narrative. It wasn't always true, but there were definitely times where Kirk wet the bed in some crucial situations. And not like Heineke's always come up clutch, but he's come up clutch more times than he hasn't. Really, in close games, I can't think of a time where he's failed us yet. The Tampa Bay game is the only one, and that wasn't a fail. They were better than us. We were happy to just even be in that game. If Chris Godwin didn't drop 16 balls in that game, we probably aren't even in it with a chance to, score a touchdown and have to go for 2 to tie it. So, anyway, I didn't think the hit was dirty. It was what it was. The Great Watubi, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, and thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, the Great Watubi, writes, for the Twins, I appreciate that. Thanks for all you do. No, thank you for all that you do. Being a member of the mob, continuing to support the contents, all of you out there, thank you guys for all that you do, all the blessings that you provide for me and my family. I couldn't begin to explain, how big that is and how much I truly do appreciate each and every single one of you out there. So thank you, Great Watubi. And The Twins greatly appreciate your generosity, man. Thank you, and thank you. Big Money Sonny. Oh my God, Big Money. He's on one tonight. He's hot. He's like on the dice table and he's hot. Big Money Sonny. Thank you once again for being Big Money Sonny. Really do appreciate you, Big Money Sonny. My guy, Big Money Sonny writes, we vibing, y'all. Mob Squad, stand up. You heard the man. Stand up. We in the building. You know what it is. Big Money Sonny's fronting the bill tonight. So all of y'all stand up. Drinks on Big Money Sonny. You know what it is. Stand up. We in the building. Really appreciate you, Big Money Sonny. Thank you for the love. Kevin the PRF. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Kevin the PRF. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB Rights. Laughing my ass off. What a difference 2 weeks make. Yep, you're right. I mean, I was so hopeless post-bye. Like literally the week leading up to the Tampa game. I was hopeless. I was all about the quarterbacks in the draft, and I was going to start, hammering down and hunkering down on their film. And that win against Tampa, while it was exhilarating, I wasn't sure if it was real. And I had my guard up. And that's why I told you I'm not going to start talking about the playoffs and all of that good stuff until we beat the Panthers, because that will let me know we're serious. Okay? Because we've done 1 before. We haven't done 2 this year. And I need to see this defense. I need to see this offense continue to grow. I saw that today. So now I'm like, okay, I'm looking around the landscape at the NFC and I'm saying, okay, why not? Why can't we make a run? And this isn't one of those years like last year, and somebody said this last week. Oh, we don't need to go to the playoffs because we're just going to get beat when we get there. This ain't that type of year. We had no chance in hell of beating Tampa, or Green Bay, or, any of those teams. We could have beaten New Orleans last year with a one-arm Drew Brees, right? We could have beaten Chicago. We could have beaten anybody in the playoffs not named Green Bay or Tampa Bay. We could have beaten any of those other teams. The Rams, we could have beaten them with Jared Goff with 4 fingers. We could have beaten the Seahawks. Although I don't think we would have, but we could have. We've beaten Russell Wilson in Seattle before. We just couldn't beat Green Bay or Tampa Bay. Well, we weren't good enough to beat. What am I saying? We weren't good enough to beat the Rams or the Seahawks last year. The only team we could have beaten in the playoffs was Chicago, probably. And maybe New Orleans, but their defense was good enough to probably make our offense look disgusting. Anyway, the reason I even brought that up is because this ain't that. This team this year is better than last year's team. And I know that sounds crazy for saying that, but you just look at the team. Our offense was putrid last year. We've got a formidable offense. And our defense, while it's not as dominant as it was last year, we're playing better competition. So I actually think the defense is better this year if they continue playing the way that they're playing, because they're more battle tested. Last year, we didn't know what we would do when we saw a Tom Brady-led Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense, and you saw what happened. He put up 500 yards of total offense on our heads. We know what we'll do when we see one of those teams, because we've seen Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers, and Patrick freaking Mahomes. We saw all of them already. There's nothing you can throw at us that's going to scare us. Last year, a big-time offense walked up to us, and they went, boo, and we got scared and started running down our legs. This year, if a big-time offense yells boo, we look at them and says, what the hell is wrong with you? I like our chances. He says, LT patting on the dirt on our grave at Denver overtime and now fully excavated, eyeing the 6th seed. You damn right. I was over there taking dirt and just sprinkling it on us, just like this. We were dead. And that Buccaneers game, literally, we were in our coffin. Dirt was being poured on us. And we Undertakered that bitch, hand through the dirt. We're not dead. Got the dirt out of our face, climbed out of the grave, and now we looking for revenge. And we out here, we got our eyes set on all these teams. And I'm like, yo, to hell with the 7 seed. Let's go get this 6 seed, man. Why the hell not? I told you I was going to start talking crazy. We beat the Panthers. I told you that already. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Fat American writes, really, big money, Sonny? You're going to make me stand up again? But hey, Lou, what would it take for Taylor Heinicke to be a legit starting material in your eyes? Consistency. I've said it once. I'll say it again. Consistency is the key. We know what he is as a quarterback already. Okay, we know the arm strength is what it is. We know that his size is what it is. Consistency, it's what's going to make him have the sticking power that it takes to be a starter in this league. Consistency, staying healthy consistently, producing consistently, taking care of the football consistently, using his legs consistently, making winning plays consistently. Consistency across the board. That's what'll make him starter material. The reason people are still not on the reason that people are still on the fence about him is because he's undrafted. He's 6 foot nothing. He's 200 pounds even. And his arm, it's not a wet noodle. Okay. He didn't have a Chad Pennington, Todd Collins pop gun arm, right? Like, it's not that damn bad. People try to over exaggerate, but he didn't have a rope. He didn't have a cannon. He didn't have a Justin Herbert. He didn't have a Josh Allen. He didn't have a Patrick Mahomes. You know, he can't zing it in there, but it's adequate. He's Jeff Garcia. And Jeff Garcia was a damn good NFL quarterback. And if he can be as consistent as Jeff Garcia was, he's a starter in this league. And we'll take Jeff Garcia because Jeff Garcia went 13-3 in this league. And Taylor Heinicke, if the defense is good and he gets comfortable and shows consistency, he's capable of winning 10, 11, 12 games in a season. He's shown that. But the consistency is the key. The Great Watubi, thank you for the super chat. Double up. Thank you for doubling up the Great Watubi. And I don't know if I said this or not, because Big Money Sonny had me a little bazzity with all of his contributions and donations tonight. I may have missed this, but thank you for being a member of the MOBB, who writes, Big Money Sonny is buying tonight, ? Everyone order the lobster. Y'all know what it is. If you ain't paying for the tab, run it up. So that's essentially where we at with ours right now. Oh, you paying for it? Hey, let me get the top shelf. Yeah, let me get that top shelf liquor. You know what it is. Big Money Sonny's got it. He's the man. Thank you for the super chat and doubling up the Great Watubi. Fat American, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Fat American writes, these last 2 wins also leaving a better vibe than the first 2 wins we had. I felt disappointed even after those wins. These wins, though, ? Hype me up. And that's the thing, is after those wins, we still weren't any better. You just want to win while you're trying to fix whatever the problem is. And those wins kept us afloat. Could you imagine had we lost those games? We would have been 0-6. We would have been 0-8 going into the bye. It would have been over, and we would have been like the Lions. But those wins gave us hope, even when we were hopeless with the defense. The difference between the first 2 wins and these last 2 wins is that the defense is alive. It's alive. The defense was dead in week 2 against the Giants, and it was dead in week number 4 against the Falcons. So, like I said, this is a different vibe that we're getting from this team because of what we've seen from them. And the Panthers were 3 of 10, I think, on third downs in this game. Like, dude, we gave up 14 of 18 to the Chargers in week 1. That last third down where they took a knee, that doesn't count. They were 14 of 18 in week 1. The Falcons were like 11 of 16 in week number 4. And we were giving up third downs at an unprecedented clip. We couldn't get off the field. it's a different vibe now. So yeah, without a doubt, it's a different vibe. So yes, these 2 wins feel totally different than the first 2 wins. Silvaro, thank you for the super chat and doubling up. Double up. Thank you for doubling up. Silvaro writes, I agree with you on the Bolts. They are still a year away, but if we can beat the Broncos next week, I think we can legitimately win the AFC West. You're legitimately in that race. As you can see, even though the Chiefs are winning, they're not the same Chiefs from last year or the year before. So, but I can tell you this, that defense is gaining confidence. Remember, I said this. I said, I don't know if it's the level of competition that they've been playing against, Washington's offense one week, and the Packers without Aaron Rodgers another week. And I was like, you don't really know if this defense is really that good, but they're playing well. You know, the Giants offense in between those 2 games I just mentioned, I don't really know. The Giants offense is pretty bad, but yeah, they still had to go out and do it. Now, what they did against Dallas, and I get it. No Amari Cooper, CeeDee Lamb goes down, bunch of drop passes. We know the story with the Cowboys. When they lose, it's a lot of self-inflicted wounds. Still, they forced those errors. Chris Jones was a man beast. Like, they made plays. L'Jarius Sneed looked like a shutdown corner, okay? Like, they're playing excellent defense right now to complement an offense that's still trying to figure some things out. So, that division is clearly, like the Broncos, they're not good, and you're going to beat them. That division is clearly up for grabs, and you already beat the Chiefs in Kansas City, in Arrowhead. So, legitimately, you're right in there, right? I'm just afraid that it's not necessarily games in your division. I think you're going to sweep the Raiders because you've already beaten them once. I think you're going to take care of the Broncos. You may go 6-0 in your division. Highly unlikely. You're going to slip up to somebody because that's why you're 1 year away. If you're not 1 year away, you sweep the division. You're good enough to sweep the Raiders. You've already beaten them once at home. You're good enough to go to Vegas and beat them. You're good enough to sweep the Broncos. I don't think you've played them this season yet, but you're good enough to beat them twice. They're not a good football team, okay? And you're good enough. You've already beaten the Chiefs. You're good enough to beat them again. But more likely than not, you're going to lose that game at home against the Chiefs the second time around because you're not ready. I think you're a year away. And you're going to lose a game to somebody you have no business losing to. Let's look at your schedule real quick. Let's do that. Let's take a look at your schedule, see who's remaining, and I'll tell you the games that I think you're going to lose. You got the Broncos on the road next week. After that, you're at the Bengals. You're going to lose that game. That's one of the games you should win. You're good enough to go to Cincinnati and win. You'll lose that game. You'll beat the Giants at home, okay? I think you're going to lose to the Chiefs the second time around. You're good enough to win that game. The Texans, that's a trap game. I could see you go. I don't know what version. I don't know if Tyrod Taylor will be healthy. You're going to win that game. I'm not going to sit here and talk crazy. You should beat the Broncos the second time. And you should beat the Raiders the second time. But I could see you losing to the Bengals. I could see you losing to the Chiefs. And one of those final 3 games, inexplicable that you lose one. Texans, Broncos, Raiders, you're going to lose one of those 2. So you're right now 6-4. I got you losing 3 more. That'll put you at 9. That'll put you at 10-7. Is 10-7 in the climate that the AFC has provided, which is ridiculous? Is 10-7 good enough? Right now, as we sit here in the conference, you are currently the 6th seed at 6-4. You know, and you play Cincinnati in 2 weeks. They're the 5 seed right now. So y'all going to beat up on each other. Buffalo right now, 6-4 behind you in 7th place. But keep in mind, the Indianapolis Colts are coming. They're 6-5. They're the 9th seed. The Steelers, who you just beat at 5-4-1. No one can end up tied with them because they have a tie. So they're going to ultimately be in that position where you don't want to have the same amount of wins because they're going to have the tiebreaker with that tie over you. You can't end with, 10 wins and the Steelers have 10 wins. They'll have the nod because of that, what essentially is like a half of a win, that tie, right? So Cleveland, I don't really think Cleveland's going to make it this year. The Raiders are 5-5, they're fading. Broncos are 5-5, they're fading. So really, I think it's 10 teams for 7 spots in the AFC. Cleveland, Indy, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Chargers, Cincinnati, Kansas City, New England, Baltimore, and Tennessee. 10 teams for 7 spots. You're in there, and I could see you getting in, whether you win your division or you ultimately are a wild card. It's anybody's guess. I could see you getting in, but I think you're 1 year away from winning your division. And if you don't win your division, that's the easiest way to get in. If you don't win your division, it's tough because of how many teams are behind you and right there and have experience that you don't have, which is getting to the postseason. So anyway, I digress. We're going to see. You're going to beat the Broncos next week. I think you lose the week after that at Cincinnati. That's the kind of game you lose because you're not ready yet. We'll see. Chauncey Davis, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. My guy, Chauncey Davis, the OG, writes, Lou, Chauncey, I was watching from my bed. Big Money Sonny's generosity forced me to get up. But like I said, breathe, relax, and enjoy. One game at a time. And you are so right, OG. And I have to keep reminding myself of this because I'm getting ahead of myself. But, you know, I am always cognizant of what lies ahead. And I'm not overlooking anybody because we're not good enough to do that. And I always have to remind the fan base of this because they see Seattle struggling. They see them as food right now, as they should. But they automatically think because it's Thanksgiving, we're going to eat. No, we have to go and catch that bird, then prepare it, cook it, and then eat. That bird is not going to lay down and say, okay, eat me. No, we have to go and physically go catch that Seahawk and cook that bird and eat that bird. So it's one at a time. You're absolutely right. And I told him, celebrate. And I meant that. And so let me get ahead of myself. But I'm going to reel it back in by the time we get to talking ball, right? So you know what it is. OG, you know what it is. But I'm going to definitely breathe and relax and take it one game at a time. But I told you, if we beat the Panthers, I was going to start talking crazy. See? Anyway, thank you for the super chat, Chauncey Davis. Oh, Big Money Sonny. What the hell is going on tonight with Big Money Sonny? He is truly Big Money Sonny. My goodness. Big Money Sonny. You need to go to Mexico more often and come back to Washington winning more often. Anyway, Big Money Sonny writes, long overdue to the man that puts all together. Again, we in this, y'all. Big Money Sonny. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. My kids thank you. My wife thanks you. I thank you. Thank you. And look, we all family, man. At the end of the day, I've said this a bunch and I'm going to continue to say it because it's true. I may be therapeutic for some of you out there. You are therapeutic for me. When we have a tough loss, I need to talk about it, okay? I need to get it off my chest. For years, I would walk around mad for 3 days. Why? Because it's just stewing. So this has become a release. So you guys are just as therapeutic for me as I am for you. And when we win, we celebrate together. Celebrate. We bask in it together. When we're miserable together. But it makes it easier, whether we win or we lose, it makes it easier. Period. Winning is funner when we do it together. Losing is easier to cope with when we do it together. So we're in this together. We're family. I tell you guys that all the time. We're family. And I appreciate you, Big Money Sonny. Thank you so much. Thank you, and thank you. Big Money Sonny, y'all. Big Money Sonny. Yes, indeed. John Hinkle. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, John, I think it's Hinkle. Could be just Hinkle. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB. John writes, Hey, Louie. Feels good to be able to stop holding my breath when we have a possession. Competent offense and our stout defense is a dangerous combo in the NFC. Isn't that the truth? Last year, I was more comfortable with our defense being on the field than our offense. It should never be that way. You should always be more nervous when your defense is on the field because the other team actually has a chance to score points. It was always the reverse for me last year. And I can't tell you, it's probably the last year of Kirk since I've actually been comfortable sitting down watching the offense with any level of expectation and expecting them to produce anything of note. Probably 2017 with Kirk running the show was the last time I had any confidence in any offense here in Washington. We've been that bad offensively for that long. So to your point, this feels good, having a competent offense that is moving the football. If we punt, it feels like a miracle. When Tressway hits the field, I'm in shock. I'm in awe. Because possessions for us have been ending one of three ways the last, 2 weeks, really. Really, the last 4 weeks, going back to Denver and Green Bay. Because Green Bay didn't even stop us. Honestly, our possessions have been ending in one of three ways. A touchdown, a field goal, whether blocked, missed, or made, or turnover. That's been, whether it's on downs, a fumble, or an interception. And these last 2 weeks, Heineke hasn't thrown a pick. When we've turned it over, it's been on fumbles. But going back to pre-bye, when we were moving the football, block kicks, Heineke interception, that was the way drives since Green Bay, drives literally have been ending with either one of three things: a touchdown, a field goal, blocked or made or missed, or a turnover. Seriously. I bet you go look, Tressway in 4 games might have punted a combined 6 times. Going back to Green Bay 5 weeks ago. 4 games ago, 5 weeks ago, because we had a bye sandwiched in between the two. He might have punted a total of 6 times. 7 max. And I would venture to say that the bulk of those punts came in the Denver game. So I think he punted once today. And last week against Tampa, maybe twice. Maybe. I don't recall him punting maybe once against Green Bay. Anyway, I digress. I feel the same way you do, John. Feel the same way you do. Deshaun Bell. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Deshaun Bell, writes, Big Money Sonny, cash at me. He says, 100. Check comments. I just got to give Big Money Sonny some more love. Big facts. We in this bitch, y'all. Emoji. Louie gets the loot respectfully, y'all. We in this. It's got to keep giving him some love. Making sure I give him his money's worth tonight. You know what I mean? Yeah, Big Money Sonny, man. You are the man. Anyway. Let's see. I think we got here. Ree says Brandon Staley looks like a disgruntled PE teacher. He does. I told you, you do a really good job with these. Okay? You do a really good job with these, Ree. He does look like a disgruntled PE teacher. I can see that. Did you guys know he had cancer before? He's a cancer survivor, that Brandon Staley is. Dude's awesome. DeAndre Jackson says, these bastards manage to piss away golden opportunities like no other franchise does. You feel that way, and there are 5 or 6 other franchises that feel the exact same way. Their fans feel the exact same way you do about your Raiders. You know, they just don't take advantage of opportunities. I know the last 2 years have been really frustrating because last year, what were you, 6-2, 6-3, and in prime position to make the postseason, and then you had an epic collapse late in the season, including that loss on a Saturday. I'm still talking about that loss to Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Dolphins on a Saturday night where you let Fitz come into the game and pretty much do you and win that game when you had it, kind of sewn up. Same thing with the Chargers. You had them on a Thursday night and you let Justin Herbert do you in overtime and at the end of regulation. Your defense was awful last year, though. Terrible. Really bad. Niners fan says, it feels like if you commit to it, you can run the football on any defense in a league besides the Bucs. That'll be very important come playoff time. You say that it feels that way, but I don't think it's actually that way. But your run game is dynamic because there isn't a better run game in the league than Kyle Shanahan. So you probably feel that way. Like, yeah, if we just stick to the run, we can run on anybody. I don't know if that's everyone's offense, but we just ran it on the Bucs, believe it or not. And it wasn't like, 5 yards a pop. It was more like 3 going towards 4. It's like 3.8 or 9, which is pretty much 4 a pop. But it was hard earned and it was timely. So I think dedication is one thing, though. You have to be willing to stick with the run. And not everybody's willing. Not every offensive coordinator is willing to stick with the run, even when you're only getting 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 6, 1, 4, 1, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 2, loss of 5. Like, it's hard to stick with that when you're not getting those incremental gains. But if you stick with the run, you will see dividends. I feel like if you have the right players, you might see dividends. Got another super chat. This one is from Mustango. Thank you for the super chat, Mustango. Greatly appreciate you. Who writes, Lou, seeing the Washington football team win again today. Mob Squad, stand up. You think they can take on Dallas after the performance they put out against Kansas City? I mean, they could have beat Kansas City 31-13. The way I feel about Dallas doesn't change. Did you see what Houston did to Tennessee today? That's what family business is all about. That's how I feel about Dallas. I don't give a shit what Dallas's record is. I don't give a shit how bad we're playing, how good they're playing. The Cowboys went 1-15 one year, and we were really good that year. Their one win came against us. There have been years where we were terrible. One year we were 14-point underdogs on a Monday night with Heath Schuler at quarterback. And this was the heyday of the Cowboys, the 3 Super Bowl wins in 4-year Cowboys, the triplets, the America's team golden boys of Aikman, Emmett, and Michael. And Heath Schuler strolls into Texas Stadium on a Monday night and does the improbable and beats them. Fast forward to 2000 and I don't know, 16. Maybe it was 14. It was 2014, I think. It was Gruden's first year, if I'm not mistaken. I think. And Colt McCoy leads a ragtag bunch of football team members into Dallas, and the Cowboys were really good that year. That was the DeMarco Murray, 1,800-yard rush season. And I think the Cowboys ultimately won 13 games and was like the number 1 seed and then got bounced by the I might be mixing up my years. They were the 1 seed the year they lost to the Giants. That was 2007. And then they were the 1 seed the year they lost to the Packers. That was with Dak, though. So that was 2016. But we beat Romo. So I don't think it was Dak. I don't remember what year. I think it was 14. It has to be 14. The Cowboys were better than us. They were 10-point dog. We were 10-point dogs, and we went in there with Colt McCoy and beat them in overtime with Jordan Reed, Colt McCoy, and company. So I said all of that to say this. I don't care what Dallas's record is. I don't care what our record is. It's family business. We know them, and we're not afraid of them. So whether they won the game today or they lost the way that they did, we're not going to see the same team that the Chiefs saw today. They didn't have Amari Cooper. They lost CeeDee Lamb. By the time we get to them, they'll be healthy. They'll get some of their pass rushers back by the time we see them. We're not going to see the same team the Chiefs saw today. I don't care. I'm not afraid of the Cowboys. And yes, we can beat them. Will we beat them is a different story, but we can beat them. Big Money Sonny, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. And again, thank you for all of your generosity tonight, all your donos tonight. I mean, you've been outstanding throughout the process, and you continue to show why you're Big Money Sonny tonight. He says, Lou, all I want to dono more, but he said, Lou, I want to dono more, but apparently this is the limit. We in this, y'all. Hey, I appreciate it. Look, you've done enough. You've done plenty. YouTube's like, look, we got to put a cap on this. This dude is going bonkers. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for all that you've done tonight and all that you've done in the past and all that you will do in the future. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Really do appreciate you. So, let's see. We hit our hour and 15-minute mark. I'll take a couple more comments and we'll get out of here. Jonathan Hankey writes, also, Jonathan Taylor is a beast. Love JT Louie. Got to keep on feeding him for us to win. That was a huge win today, and I didn't see it coming. I thought you could win. I didn't think you could win in the manner that you did. That was an outright assault. Think there's been a murder. I can't think there's been. I think there's been a murder. It's a killer. They were outlined in chalk after that one with all kinds of caution tape at the crib, no less. Yikes. Jonathan Taylor, 5 touchdowns. I told anybody that would listen, if you go back and watch my draft coverage, he was the best back in that draft. And somehow he made it to the second round. I was shocked. But that's your game. And I'm glad that he wasn't a first-round pick because now you have to pay him. You won't be able to, ride him for 5 years. You'll pick up the 5th-year option and then, decide if you want to pay him or not. He's going to get broken off next year. You got to pay him. And he deserves it. And he's catching the football better than anybody thought he could coming out of Wisconsin. That's something that he really improved upon. Got another super chat from my guy, Big Money Sonny. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Big Money Sonny. Writes, family business. You know what it is. That's why I'm not afraid of the Giants, not afraid of the Eagles, damn sure not afraid of the Cowboys, because it's family business. If these two teams said they ain't did it, then they ain't did it. But if they did, well, that's family business. And nobody knows the other members of the division quite like the family. That's why the Texans did what they did today. You know what I'm saying? And that's why you see that happen around the league, because I know you. You can't hide from me. You can hide from all these other teams. You can't hide from me. I know you too well. I know what you want to do on third down. I know what this look means from you. I know you. Really, it's all about who out-executes who that day. Because I know you. I know the little tricks you like to run. I know the little chicanery you like to pull. I know you. You can't hide from me. It's family business. I love it. Mustango, thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. My guy, Mustango, writes, Lou, all football aside, man, what's the experience been for you while being on YouTube doing this? What can you say to people who are inspired by you and want to start their own channel? I always tell people, if you're really interested, DM me. I'll give you all the game I've got. Nobody gave me any game when I started. I had to learn every lesson the hard way. And there were a lot of hard-earned lessons, but I got so much game to give. And if you're serious, I'll give it to you. But DM me. That's what I always tell people. And I could do a class, and there's a lot of people doing classes. I ain't looking to do that. I'll give the game away for free because the hustle is sold separately. I could give you all the game I got, but you still got to hustle and grind. It's not going to just come because I speak these words to you. I can give you the game, but the hustle is sold separately. So I don't mind giving away the game for free. I give you everything I got. But what I would tell you is that this is not easy. But if you want it, you can get it. But it's going to take time. And some people pop immediately, And for whatever reason, others, it takes a while. And it took me a long ass time. And I'm still, trying to gain my traction. I still got a long way to go. I'm a small I'm a small fish in a big pond. I do that a lot. I was talking to somebody the other day, and I mash words together because my brain is working so quickly. So I mashed the two words that I'm about to say, the one that I'm about to say and the word that I'm going to say afterwards. Like I was going to say fish and pond, and I said pish. Like I do that a lot. Anyway, that's a non sequitur. The bottom line is, if you're interested in doing this, it's going to take a lot of work. It's going to take a lot of sacrifice. It's going to take a lot of energy, a lot of time. It's a lot of resources, non-renewable resources. And you've got to be willing to put in the work. And I tell people that all the time. I used to be a vendor in my past life, a grass seed vendor. And people would always come in because they want to grow grass, but they don't want to put the time, the energy, the money. They just want to they want to come in, buy a bag of grass seed, spread it all around their yard and water it once, and they think they're supposed to get grass. And then when it doesn't grow, they get pissed off. And so I always would tell the customers, look, I'm going to tell you right now, if you want a great lawn, you first have to start with your soil, okay? It's just like your body. The soil is your body. What you put in your body, you get out of it. What you put in your soil is what you're going to get out of it. So you have to treat your soil first. The pH levels have to be balanced, and you got to make sure that you fertilize it properly so you don't get weeds and things of that nature. You got to make sure you don't have any grubs because they'll tear your yard up. All of these things, you have to treat your soil first, and then you have to buy your fertilizer, and then you have to buy your grass seed, and then you have to put on lime and all of these things. But you can't just water it once and think, oh, I watered it. Why is my grass not growing? Because you've got to invest time, you've got to invest energy, and you've got to invest money. And a lot of people didn't want to do that. And with this YouTube thing, it's not that dissimilar. You're going to have to invest time, non-renewable resource. You're going to have to invest energy. Okay. You can get energy back. You got to invest money, resources, lighting and camera and microphone and computer and all of these things, software and all of this stuff. There's a lot that goes into this. I always encourage people though, if you're serious, just start. Don't make excuses as to why you don't start. Just start. Get a camera, get a mic, and start. Now, when you first start out, nobody knows you on YouTube. So don't expect to do a video and have 500 views. That first video, you'll tell all your family and friends, they'll watch once or twice. They'll support that first video. You'll be excited. You'll get 200 views. And in your next video, you'll get 5 views. In the video after that, you'll get 7 views. And then you'll get 3 views. And then you'll get 6 views. That becomes frustrating because you feel like you're talking to yourself. And that is the moment of truth. Because when you keep doing that and you keep seeing those results, you want to quit. And that's when you're going to find out, is this really what I want to do or not? And most of the people that come to me, that's the moment they realize, I'm not cut out for this. Too much time, too much energy, not enough dividends being paid back to me. I'm not seeing the fruits of my labor. Sort of like losing weight. You're putting in all this effort. You change your diet. You're working out 4 times a week. You look at the scale and you've lost 1 pound or you've lost no pounds. You get frustrated. It's not working. So you quit. Same thing here. That I would tell people it's a lot of work, but if you want it bad enough, you can get it. But it's not going to happen overnight. What are you willing to do to get it? But again, if you're interested, hit me up, DM me. I'll give you the game if you're serious. I got to vet you first to find out if you're serious. I'm not going to spend a whole bunch of time on somebody that's not serious. I'll give you preliminary game. If you show me you're serious, I'll give you all the game. And I've had some people that I'm so proud of because I gave them the game and they took the seed and they ran with it. They planted it and now it's sprouting up beautifully. My guy Protect Sports over there, Network, Tones, hit 1,000 like 2 months ago. So proud of him. Remember when he first started? Asked me all the questions, gave him all the game I had. He ran with it, and he's doing big things. My guy Joey Sharp, I remember when he first started, big Bills fan, started his own channel over there, Believers Talk. And Joey Sharp had his buddy with him, and they were supposed to be doing this, and then it always happens that way. You got a buddy, he wants to do it, and then your buddy doesn't want to do it. That happened to me. He ain't stopped, though. And now his channel is growing. So you can do it, but it's going to take time, effort, and resources. Are you willing to pour all of those things in consistently? That's the real question. So that's what I would tell somebody initially. Thank you for the super chat, Mustango. Big Money Sonny. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy, Big Money Sonny. Writes, we in this, y'all. Tell them again, Big Money Sonny. We in this, y'all. Real talk. We have to salute Lou for kicking knowledge about the real game, bringing H2O to life, just like our mob squad. Again, I told you, y'all are just as big in all of this as I am. You know what I mean? Without y'all, I don't exist. I'd just be talking to myself. So like I said before, and I'll say it again, I really, truly do appreciate each and every single one of you guys out there because that's what makes this family what it is. You know, people like you, Sonny, people like the OG, Chauncey Davis, Kevin the PRF, you know, all these guys, Fat American, Metaphor, everybody, you know what I mean? You know, my girl Condo P consistently holds me down in the comment section as a mod. You know what I'm saying? Like it's this family is made up of so many, and then, you know, and that's just the Washington family. And then this thing extends their branches, their tentacles, because I'm not just a Washington fan. I love all 32 teams in terms of the league itself. And I love watching these games. And there are people that I've been chopping it up for 5, 6, 7, 8 years from other teams, you know, like me. And it's I love these guys. You know what I'm saying? Like my guy, Emperor Meach. I love that dude. He's a Giants fan. Like I love Emperor Meach. You know what I'm saying? My guy, Craig, massive Chargers fan. Love my guy, Craig. We chop it up all the time. We've been talking for years. You know, and it's people that I haven't talked to in years. You know, that huge fans. I had to do Everyday Flash when I first started. I'll say this and then we'll move on. Big Bills fan was the only person that would talk to me when I first started. I get 3, 4 views. He was consistently one of them. He'd leave comments in the comment section. Tell me all the things that I was doing right, all the things he felt like I was doing wrong, improvements. Hate when I got the spit going down the wrong pipe. Hold on. And I was so bullheaded when I first started. I didn't want to take any advice from anybody because when I needed help, there was nobody there to help me. So I thought I, could figure it out on my own, and I didn't need help from anybody. And so he would tell me things from a viewer perspective. And it took me a while to realize This is constructive criticism. You need to take this. He's one of 5 people that is consistently watching your videos, and he's telling you what he is looking for as a consumer. You need to listen. And, bit by bit, piece by piece, I broke down that wall that I had up, and I started to listen and make changes. And it's people like that have helped this thing grow, organically, like a grassroots effort, and so I'm forever grateful for people like Everyday Flash and all the people that, like I said, have been there for the longest. My guy, Ree, I've been talking to Ree for 6, 7, 8 years. You know what I mean? Like, Ree was one of the, people when I first started, and I had 100 subs. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this thing extends. Like, it's tentacles. But we all family, whether we have a different aunt or, different uncle, we connected some other way. We all family, man. And I appreciate each and every single one of y'all. And this time of the year, we talk about giving thanks. And, one of the things I always give thanks for is you guys, every single one of y'all. So to your point, Big Money Sonny, we in this bitch. We in it, and we ain't going nowhere. And feels good to be able to say that. Like, I'm looking at teams now, and again, I always try to make sure I temper my excitement, because this team has done this before, where you get all excited and then you get let down. This feels different. And this is why I was all in on Ron's plan, because I feel like this is going to be different this time around. But this team feels like they're hitting their stride at the right time. And this is the different thing. The league hasn't been this wide open in 7, 8 years. I mean, there is no dominant team in either conference. And what did I say about the Tennessee Titans and the Minnesota Vikings? What did I tell you about that? They're the same team, just one in each conference. What did I tell you about Tennessee? What did I tell you about Minnesota? They're capable of beating anybody, and they're capable of losing to anyone. This is why I don't believe in Tennessee nor Minnesota. Because Minnesota can do what they did today, beat Green Bay. That's family business, so you know how that goes. Mike Zimmer's had success against Aaron Rodgers. I'm not surprised that happened. Not surprised the Titans lost. The Titans lost to the Jets earlier this season. That's what the Titans do. They're capable of beating anybody. They're capable of losing anybody. You continue to see that. Anyway, I digress. Metaphor. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you, my guy. Metaphor writes, a wise boy once told me, God bless us, everyone. That's right. God bless us. God bless everybody. That's how I feel. Everyone. So, again, this is the time of the year where I get really reflective. All the things that I'm thankful for. Because I always ask the kids, what are you thankful for? That's what they would ask me when I was in elementary school. What are you thankful for? And you're a little kid. I'm thankful for my parents. And I'm thankful for my shoes. Just got a new pair of shoes. Thankful for Scottie Pippen. Dumb shit that you would say when you're a kid. Now that they're getting older, you ask them, what are you thankful for? And you really want them to think. You really want them to be introspective, because we're blessed. We're fortunate. If you're watching me, that means you have a device, whether it's a cell phone, a computer, a laptop, a PC, whatever. You're watching me on something. You're fortunate to have that. There are people that don't have those things. We're all blessed in some way, shape, or form. So I just try to pay it forward. Whether I'm trying to drop a gem on your melon, or I just let you know that I care. I care about you, your situation, and I'm thankful for you. So again, not to get all sentimental on y'all, but this is the time of year that I tend to do that, because it's the most wonderful time of the year. There go my guy, Craig. He says, still here too, Lou. Salute, my man. That's my guy, Craig. Like I was telling y'all, like we go way back. And it's a lot of fans that aren't Washington fans that I chop it up with on the regular. That I go way back with. So it like I said, this thing has tentacles in it. It's far reaching. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. I digress. Let's get out of here. I really appreciate all of y'all tonight. And this is going to be, as I mentioned, and I'm going to continue to remind you guys, this is my bye week coming up next week. So it'll be an abbreviated week. Everything will be condensed into 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Wednesday will be my last work day. And then I'll be off until Monday when Washington plays Seattle. I'll be back in the office and I'll be able to do Monday night overtime. But there will be no, Sunday night. There will be no Thursday night overtime. Well, obviously there are 3 Thanksgiving games, but and I say that spirit hits me. I ain't doing nothing. I'm gonna bring my camera and my webcam and my laptop with me. I may jump on and do something. I doubt it. Okay, don't look for it. I'm an avid Black Friday shopper, so more likely than not, I'll be running the streets, and more likely than not, you won't get any content from me. But again, it'll be condensed from Monday through Wednesday, and I'll continue to remind you of what to expect from me over those 3 days. And I won't leave you contentless. There will be some content coming out, but it won't be what you're accustomed to getting. That's my bye week. It is every year, and then we'll hit the ground running for the stretch run after the Thanksgiving holiday. So I will see you guys on Monday. So we should be doing the podcast on Monday. I'm gonna try to get all the games out of the way so we can do it tomorrow instead of Tuesday, because I don't want to condense everything into one day, because I got to do the Washington Football Nightly live on Tuesday as is. But I'll just say this. This is a big win by the Chargers. They made it a lot harder than they needed to. But a win's a win in the National Football League. We won't talk about how this win was achieved or what it looked like or the lead that they blew to have to come back and ultimately win. 3 weeks from now, we'll just see they beat the Steelers 41-37. It's one in the left-hand column, and you just keep it pushing. As we sit here after watching a game 2 hours ago, this shouldn't have been as close as it was. This is part of the reason why I feel like the Chargers may be a year away. But in saying that, they're literally a half game out of first place in their division. It's a very winnable division. The Broncos are their next opponent. The Broncos are going in the wrong direction. The Raiders are going in the wrong direction. And the Chiefs aren't the Chiefs, but defensively, the Chiefs are looking really impressive. But this is a Chargers team that's already gone to Arrowhead and beaten the Chiefs. So all bets are off there. But I've already said this. When you're a year away, you lose games that you're not supposed to lose, like they did against Minnesota. They should have beat Minnesota last week. But part of that is the fact that they don't have run defense. And that's why I think they're a year away. Because if you can't stop the run consistently, you're going to lose games you shouldn't lose. I'm shocked that they beat the Browns, because the Browns are one of the most prolific rush offenses, and they killed them in that game on the ground, but they were able to overcome it because Justin Herbert is that guy. And they had defensive breakdowns with Mike Williams wide open like he got tonight on that touchdown. But that's nor here nor there. Big win for the Chargers. Keeps them within shouting distance of the Chiefs in that division. Puts them in the playoffs. If the playoffs were to start today, as I mentioned already, the Chargers would be your 6th seed. So they're sniffing around. They're sniffing around the postseason. Can they do enough to get there? Young staff, young players, young quarterback. Can they overcome all of this youth and find their way to the postseason? Like, I see them going on the road against Cincinnati in 3 weeks and losing. That's the kind of game I see the Chargers not being ready to win yet. We'll see. That's going to be a fun game too. 2 young quarterbacks from that 2020 draft going head to head, both seeking playoff berths this year. That's going to be a fun one in 3 weeks. I wish that was on TV. Anyway, I digress. Steelers, valiant effort without half of your defense. You had no business being in this game. You saw the stat. You saw the statistic. 0 and like 260 when down 17 or more in the fourth quarter. They almost put a crooked number in that left-hand column. Weren't able to do it, but valiant effort. You go back to the drawing board. The thing that I walk away from this game saying, if I'm the Steelers, and again, I don't know if this was a Chargers thing or if maybe, just maybe, you're figuring some things out offensively. Can we start scoring some damn points consistently? Okay, that's 2 games in a row. 29 against the Bears, 16 in the middle with the Lions, but no Ben Roethlisberger, so I'm not going to hold that one against you, even though that was still piss poor pathetic. 29 2 weeks ago when you had Ben, and 37 tonight. Can you start holding up your end of the bargain offensively? If the answer is yes, you're a playoff team and you're dangerous. If the answer is no, you're a fringe playoff team and you could make it or you could miss it because your defense is good enough, but currently, as constituted, your offense is not. But if your offense does what it did tonight and what it did against Chicago 2 weeks ago, you're a playoff team if you're the Steelers. And that's the takeaway for me tonight is they scored 37 points. That should make you smile if you're a Steelers fan. Despite being frustrated that you weren't able to complete the comeback, you scored 37 points tonight. That's your highest output of the season. Can you start scoring points consistently? We'll see. Anyway, I digress. K80 Tick. Thank you for the super chat. Greatly appreciate you. Thank you for being a member of the MOBB who writes. Off topic. Carolina really thought they could shut Terry down one-on-one. Laughing my ass off. They did. And I was offended that they thought they could shut him down with Dante Jackson. Now, when you have confidence in both of your corners, I don't need the star coverage, anything. Remember back in 2016 when we had confidence in both of our corners? And so we told Antonio Brown, it don't matter what side you go on. Josh Norman's on one side and Bashad Breeland's on the other side. Do what you do then. And he started twerking on Bashad Breeland. That's what happens when you think you have 2 good corners, but you really only have one. They should have put Stephon Gilmore and Terry. That was disrespectful, and they had to pay for it. Anyway, I digress. Anyway, we gonna leave on this one. This is my guy, Ree. Ree says, Lou, you're honestly one of my best friends. You're my guy, Ree. You're my guy. And on that note, we're gonna get out of here. It's been that long. We've been doing this for about good 7-8 years, Ree. So you my guy, man. Thank you guys. And for those of you that I don't see over the next 3 days, and I don't see you before Thanksgiving, happy Thanksgiving to you and yours. And again, the 5 F's: faith, football, food, family, friends. In whatever order you desire, make sure you cherish these holidays. Until next time, I'm your man, Louie T. Signing off. Get off the bench, get in the game, and kick it with me, your man, Louie T. Until next time, you guys take care, and I shall see you tomorrow for the Louie T Network podcast. Have a good one. God bless, and good night.
Louie T Network.
Shout out to Big Money Sonny one more time. You the man.
Louie